Hi there, Natalie here with a new process video for Paint-Free Studio, and today we're going to create a layout that's ready for Valentine's Day. It's all about love, and I am going to use a selection, and I'm going to mix pretty much all the latest collections, and I'm using probably going to be the last layout that I use these collections because the new releases are arriving next week at my doorstep. So my idea for today is actually bring some hearts, and for that I am going to use the Essentials Heart Shaker die set to create my hearts. And like I said, I am gonna pull the 6x6 paper pads from all the collections. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna pull some Holiday Dreams. I'm gonna pull that plaid paper that has pink and gold. I am going to pull the kind of wicker gray with white paper from Sunshine on My Mind. I am going to pull from Lovely Blooms. I'm actually gonna pull that pink and fuchsia paper, which is going to be the base for my layout. I didn't want to use red. I wanted something in those tones, but not red. I'm not a fan of red. And then that big paper, that blue one, I had a piece left over. And then from Tourist Mode, I'm going to pull that little brownish with the white polka dot. So you're going to see that the pink is going to be pretty much my anchoring color, kind of my main color. And the other papers have like really subtle designs. So going to be kind of like the best friend. Let's just put it that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it, and I'm going to alternate the way I create my cuts. So if my big heart, I'm cutting out of that pink and fuchsia paper, then the small heart is going to be from a pattern from the other paper pads that's really subtle. And I'm going to do the opposite for other ones. I'm going to cut the big heart out of like those subtle papers, and then the small heart out of that pink paper. And I just had a piece left over. I don't know the name of it, but it's the paper that has a big wreath in Lovely Blooms. The B side has a beautiful stripe. So the idea that I started, you're gonna see this is my starting idea. I thought I'm gonna create little groupings of hearts, 2 hearts, and kind of create a hole in them and tie them to the center of the layout where I was gonna place my picture. So you're gonna see that I am playing with the with some eyelets, and I'm using my crocodile to just create this placement for my string. That's the best way to call it. And you're going to see that that's the reason why I'm not placing the hearts in the same position. I'm making sure that the hearts have different positions, but I want them to be at the inside edges of the big hearts. So I'm just taking my time going through that, but as I am adding the little eyelets, I'm thinking, not sure about this idea, but I'm committing to it. I'm committing to the eyelets. I know that I can do something with them, because if you have, if you see my project, I love things that bring texture. I love things that are hanging, that have a lot of movement on my page. So this is pretty much the idea. I was thinking, okay, I want to have a grid, tie some string to the center, but then I didn't gel. So first thing I did is I needed to give my photo something that was going to anchor it. And I wanted to have also that same look, kind of have an eyelet, that texture. So I went into the Lovely Blooms journaling bits, and I found this tag. So I'm just going to kind of slide my picture underneath the eyelet and just keep it in place. So as I keep moving the heart outside of the camera, and you're going to see it right now, I realize that I can actually place them as if they're cascading from the top of the page to the bottom, with like the picture in between. So that means that I'm gonna keep this layout really cast, which means it's clean and simple, and it's gonna have a center focus. Like the picture is going to sit right on the center, and the hearts are going to sit right on the center of my page. So I love the idea. There's movement on the hearts when I'm playing with them. You're going to see that I'm going to play with the string. I'm going to literally lace the string, or like string them, so that some of the string goes up, some goes down, some goes around. I want to make sure that my string does not cover the picture. I want to keep it the less amount of string that you can see on top of the hearts, the best it's gonna be. That's the best way that I can describe it, because I don't want it I want it to be part of my layout, but I don't want it to be the focus of my layout. I wanted you to have the impression that things are just hanging off the string on my page, but I don't want it to be like what is driving this page. I want it to be very focused on the picture and on the little hearts. So I'm just gonna play with my hearts runner. You're gonna see, like I said, I'm gonna start playing with the string so that you see very little of it through the hearts. I don't mind having like the ends kind of creating some movement so that you have the idea that there's a string on it. So once I'm happy with what they're placed, you're gonna see they're not sitting on a straight line. Because I had placed the eyelets at different positions in the hearts, I'm able to move them. So once I'm happy with what they look like, I'm gonna add a little bit of foam adhesive behind them. One of the reasons is because the eyelet is adding a little bit of texture, so it's gonna be a little bit off the page. So to make it even and like to help me with this, I'm gonna add a little bit of foam adhesive when I'm attaching them. That keeps them level. Once I have that, I'm gonna make sure that I center my photo so it's nice, nicely centered on my page. And once I have that, I thought that I needed something on the right. Like the tag is on the left hand side of the photo. I want to give something on the right. So I went into the garden bouquet chipboard stickers, and I found a little frame that is all completely white and it just says happy at the bottom. So I thought it was something nice to ground my page. Now to embellish this, I wanted to bring something that had gold, that was going to create a little bit of punch and had kind of the same fuchsia tones that I'm looking for. So I went and pulled my garden bouquet washi tape, and I'm going to create quite a few panels. And when I mean quite a few is when I start playing with washi tape, I create like 6 or 7 at one time. So all I did is just run the washi tape on top of 65-pound cardstock and then use the die to cut it. Simple as that. You're gonna see I have like around 6 or 7 panels cut out. This is gonna be what is gonna embellish my layout. And the way I want to place the little die cuts, the washi tape die cuts, is I want to tuck them underneath the small heart on top of the big heart. So it kind of creates the division between the two hearts, but it's camouflaged by the eyelet. That's the best way that I can describe it. So you're going to see that I'm just literally tucking the littlest flowers that I can find in between the little spot. Once I have that, I want to make sure that I create a zigzag through my page. That means that I need to add another cluster of flowers to the bottom right corner of my photo. That's where I added that little chipboard frame, and I'm gonna add another one to the top left corner of the photo behind the tag. That just creates a nice zigzag on my page. So once I have that, I'm gonna use some foam adhesive behind the flowers just to keep them in place. And you're gonna see that I added a little bit of blue because I have that blue heart, but I'm staying within the pinks and the fuchsias. And then to embellish this, because I'm bringing some of those garden bouquet florals, there's a little bit of purple. I'm going to take advantage of that to bring more embellishments onto my layer. And I'm going to add a sentiment to each one of the hearts. So I went into the garden bouquet ephemera, and I put those little phrase strips that come in the ephemera, and I thought that was the perfect way to add a little bit of embellishing to each one of the hearts. So I'm looking for all the pieces, whatever I have left over right now. So I love the fact that the hearts are being embellished, but they're not overly embellished. Everything is really clean and simple and right on the center of my page. A little bit of foam adhesive is going to keep the words in place. So now to create my title, again, like I said, I'm just playing with everything that I have left over. I found the word magic, and this is from the ephemera from the Lovely Blooms collection, and I thought that'd be great to create a title. So I'm going to place it right on to the left of the photo, and then I'm going to bring this enamel dots are from the Sunshine the mini alphas are from Sunshine in My Mind. I'm going to take advantage of the pink ones to add the word we are magic, and that's my husband and I, and he's the love of my life, even though he can there's days that I want to I'm sure you guys do too, strangle him. So now that we have my title ready, I thought that I needed something that was going to help me with the movement throughout the page. So anytime that I'm stamping anything, I actually create extras. This is the case with the small butterflies stamp and die set. I also do it with the hard foil. It's just easier to do one single session. So I had quite a few hidden balls with champagne embossing powder. So it's kind of a mixture between gold and silver, which I thought it was perfect for this. So I actually had embossed them on vellum, and I had die cut the same enamel dots again, butterflies on vellum. So I'm just kind of layering one on top, like the embossed one on top of a plain one, just to give it a little extra dimension and some movement. And I'm gonna place them again. You're gonna see that I'm gonna drag the butterflies so that they follow the zigzag motion on my page. I just want to drag your eye. The magic word is drag or drive your eye throughout my page, and the butterflies are gonna help me with that. Now that I have them, I love how this turned out. You're gonna see that I'm gonna play a little bit with the string. I want to make sure, again, I want to continue that movement, so I like the fact that it's creating that kind of curly cues at the end of it. I'm just going to take advantage of that and just glue it in place with a little bit of glue, just so they don't move. And just, like I said, I want to make sure that you know that that's a string running through the heart, but I don't want it to be the main focus of it. That's why I tried to kind of stash it behind the heart. Now that that's in place, I need to bring a little bit of extra bling, and I'm use actually glitter drops for this. I am using magenta, blossom, and champagne, because I want a combination of the fuchsia, the pink, and a little bit of like that goldish tone. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna use different sizes of one of each of the colors wherever there's a butterfly, so that kind of helps with the movement. Also brings like kind of, every time I think about butterflies, it's kind of like the fairy dust that is around it. So I'm thinking about like the glitter drops in the same way. So remember, magical numbers 3, so I'm going to make sure that I add 3 in each one of these clusters. And then once I put them all together, I'm like, you know what, I think I need a few more in certain areas. And the areas that I need them is, like, for example, at the corners of the sentiments in the big hearts at the top and bottom of the page, because there's no butterfly there. So I just need that little extra pop of shine. And once that's ready, that's about it. I love how this turned out. This came together, like I said, change of plans along the way, but I love how it turned out. It was super fun to put together, even though, like I said, I had to play with the arrangement of it a little bit, but I hope you try it. It's a great layout to document that special person in your life, regardless, whether it's your kids or your doggy, which probably be the second choice for me. And I hope you enjoy it. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave me a comment. I would love to help you. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great content, and be ready to see a lot of the newest collection coming up soon. So take care, guys.